Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble. My name is Mr. Pillow, and I'm joined here by the lovely and wonderful Devmon and his wonderful duck. Does the duck have a name?
No, it's just a duck.
Okay, well, hi there, just a duck. We are going into the losers quarterfinals. We have YOUDODAMATH, and Please Love playing up against each other. And I'm going to go ahead and take a second to remind everybody that we are currently still having our bet system. Type anything is going to win to the chat, red team or blue team, and guess currently to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. With that said, Devmon, why don't you take us through the draft, my friend?
Right, so to begin with, we should probably announce that these two teams, YOUDODAMATH and Please Love, are fighting against each other. We have the map, which is AI Station 205, which if I don't remember correctly, but I do remember correctly, has been played, a couple times today so far?
It's been played actually exactly twice. It's been exactly twice. And
cool.
Both those times by Please Love, so.
Yeah, they know how to pick a map. So, going right into the draft then. Would you like me to cover bands?
Why don't you?
Okay, alright. In terms of bands, the teams have banned out Skoldir and Dizzy, two strong nods, especially played by high-level competitive players. And the other team has banned out Chucho and Rocket. Rocket getting nerfed soon, but not quite in a state where he's considered fair to play on both sides. And Chucho's just a really good push, really good team fight, and he's pretty solid all the way around. If I do see correct in the teams, would you like to talk about YOUDODAMATH's team? Because that one it's giving me flashbacks to what we just saw for the last match.
Yeah, it's an interesting comp here. You got Yuri, X, and Ksenia, and Yuri X is a combo that YOUDODAMATH has been running with a lot of success throughout this tournament. I think the only time they've actually dropped a match using that combo so far is against Boys R Us, and I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't drop matches versus Boys R Us? With that said, and they are extraordinarily single target. You have Ksenia on here, which is going to be great cleanup as well as great clear when she's off doing her own thing. However, the team fight potential here, while as much as normally Yuri X I really love, I do have to point out the fact that we're versus the blue side of things. You actually have just 3 standard AoE, CSOT, shield, whatever. Just 3 team fight knots. You have 3 knots that go into a team fight. They use their abilities like crazy and just kind of pick up a frag. Like, it's right click in to win. It's a very cookie cutter of a comp. I think regardless of the actual matchup, YOUDODAMATH is going to have to play smarter throughout this match than Please Love does. If both teams play with equal skill, I think it's going to go to Please Love. I think YOUDODAMATH should be more focused actually on trying to out-rotate and out-clear the blue team than they should taking team fights, because I mean, you got deadlift and swings are going to be extraordinarily slow on this map after those front turrets open up. So that's my 2 cents. What do you think?
Well, I'd agree to that for the most part. I feel, depending on how matchups go and what items they want to build into, YOUDODAMATH might have a really good chance, because what the blue team really lacks in this situation is a lot of range, and knockback scissors may be what they need to just kind of peel them off and just kind of deal with them effectively. I'm wondering if there's going to be any swaps into mines given Ix and Yuri. Overall, probably swaps into bubbles and just fall on the kill, so depending on how they play there. Otherwise, I'd say the silence is critical against those 3 knots. Being able to silence deadlift and prevent him from popping a shield is going to basically shut him down in a lot of cases. And if they can burst him fast enough, especially with the increased duration of silence with the slow bubble, they might be able to do it. Conversely, there's a lot of bursts happening with Please Love. They could pretty much jump on one person. As long as Swiggins has the stun, you get deadlift going in with lunge and stun. They're pretty much dead before they can counteract.
Right, no, absolutely. And so it's one of those things that, in my opinion, the shield is there and they get the slow motion on the seed elimination with that perfect counter initiation, then that's going to be, I think, really vital to winning those team fights. And I think the way that YOUDODAMATH has to play, I think that they're not going to be so successful bunched up together. I mean, yeah, it's good to be together. At the same time, they win this by controlling the map. They do not win this by going and taking a frag. They win this by having both lanes cleared before a blue team has even finished clearing one lane. And so with that said, I think that team fight I have to give it to Please Love. I don't think that
Yeah.
that YOUDODAMATH is going to play the way that they need to. I think they're going to go where they normally do with Ixuri, like go very happy all three together, grab someone, put them into the time bubble, and just try and collapse. And I don't think that's going to work here.
It's a lot of investment to do so. It'll be interesting to see how they play in actuality. But yeah, I could agree there with Please Love having a stronger team fight potential and just, in general, having an easier time or an easier win condition. So, with that, would you like to hop in to this match and figure out what happens?
Sounds like a plan to me. Only theory crap for so long. I am at the 38-second mark. Would you like to give us a countdown, my friend?
Sure. So, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Alright.
So,
fucking
great.
door. So, looking at these opening upgrades, we got Yuri and Deadlift picking up some regen. Flying Fish Compass, that's the cooldown on an anchor already being picked up, and there's going to be a hook onto Sam, and we're going to see Slow-Mo Shot coming out too. There's the time bubble, got 2 stuck in it. Sam taking a lot of damage, but there's going to be the shield coming out, and we're going to see a little, everyone breaking out, everyone actually kind of hurting, especially Deadlift there, but Deadlift had the shield. And no first blood yet. I actually was really confident that something was going to happen there. The push going in favor of the red team. How is the first blood going to go down, in your opinion, Defon?
Given what they have right now for the upgrades, I'm thinking blue team's going to want to go in hard, especially with Swiggins having cooldown on his hook. That's going to be really good for canceling X's stuns, his bonds with the stun, and also basically providing a lot of initiation power. Shiz is going to get in there, but Bubble's going to keep her safe. But blue team's going to have to play around that. Bubble cooldown's going to be the one thing that you're going to have to keep track of more than any other cooldown, I'd say, in this game, just because Bubble's such a team-centric fighting tool, and basically allows Yuri to escape from every situation. In terms of what they're going for right now, I'd say they're pretty standard upgrades all around, and I'd say that the time bubble's going to come out, provide a lot of slow, and allow blue team to actually back off there, leaving Deadlift to survive another day.
Oh, indeed, and so kind of like backing off from each other there. That fact that the slow-mo shot did help them survive is going to be some of the things that the Deadlift show. Oh, that's going to have to wait a second. Good body block coming out from Shiz. It's going to be completely caught out. Not able to get around at the fire, the Deadlift body block, the slow-mo shot, the full 9 yards. This could be a very, very clean 1-for-nothing. Doesn't matter the matchups there, just straight up caught out, and they're going to continue the fight. This might be a wipe, barely.
So close.
Yeah, didn't have the cooldown to take out Sam. He was incredibly low. He's going to have a very difficult time defending this, especially with Deadlift. Going to go ahead and set up the split lane, and that's kind of going to get a little bit of snowball going. They just managed to get the red team to kind of take a fight there when they were 3v2, which is just not good.
Well, certainly puts them in an advantage in that situation. Although overall, I'd say that the blue team's pushing power. Deadlift's got some good chip, but unless they have everyone down, they feel a little bit threatened by the opposing team there. X's Pierce helps with the droid clear. Yuri's got decent droid clear, and Ksenia, not really the best defender. But if they're low on health while they try and push, it'll basically stop them from doing so.
Right. And thing is that while Ksenia has great clear, she has great push. When it's contested, it actually goes bad. So the numbers on her are great. She can clear droids like nothing. But when Swiggins is going in looking for an anchor dive, and she's sitting there clearly, and she either has to take a dive, or she has to get out of the way. And so Swiggins, especially with that cooldown, always having that ready, just has that potential anytime he needs it. There's going to be a fight coming out of here that's going to wait a second. Deadlift going to be leaping out. There is going to be a hook coming out to Jabby, but Shiz and Sam are there ready to create the space necessary. Going to get the top and bottom lanes cleared, and they're going to go ahead and see if they can get some push off of that. We got a top lane coming back on the blue team. Seb and Sam duking it out to completely... I don't know why Love is not going in there. She had like twice as much HP as Seb did. It would have been a 2v1, and she was actually really passive with her slow-mo shot there, and that resulted in just, a free walkout coming from Sam.
Yeah, it was basically just both sides just kind of having a bit of a punch and just having a little bit of fun. I guess maybe sizing up the opponent, but yeah, you're right. If Love had actually gone in there to assist with the team fights and they stuck together basically a little bit, they've secured more kills. I think in this situation they need to be doing a lot of that just based on how they've drafted.
Yeah, definitely, but either way, missed opportunity, but I'm sure there'll be others. Gamesburg can get going in and get swapped as a result into a time bubble. There's the slow-mo shot. You got like bubbles of time slow here, just making it super unpredictable what's going to happen. Shiz ends up getting bodied out, kind of staying a little bit too long with that time bubble, courtesy of the slow-mo shot. And now that's going to be a 1-for-0 in favor of blue team, winning those team fights, as I said. And Now we're gonna go back and not push. Questionable decision making, but either way, they do seem to have mostly good control going on here. And you see some upgrades being picked up. Regeneration pod get up rather extraordinarily early, I would say, coming out from Shiz. How do you think that's going to make an impact on these team fights? Like, is that extra, what, 300, 400 health that everything ticks going to be exactly what she needs? I guess we're about to find out.
Well,
there
you're
it
gonna
comes.
see it right now.
Yeah, slow-mo shot, and there you go. There's going to be a
Makes
2 for
the
nothing.
difference. You can see how low Jappy is, and also how low Sam is.
Yeah.
That extra HP provided by the heal bubble.
Yeah, like 100%. She, if not for that upgrade, Jappy and Sam were dead. Who needs casters? They'll answer the questions for us, I guess. So yeah, now is that going to Teflon? Is that going to be how the fights go out now? Like, is that going to be a consistent thing, or is this a one-time thing? What do you think?
I think that's actually going to put Shiz in a better position. The extra sustain that Shiz has with the heal bubble, not only for the team but for herself, is going to allow her to play a little bit more aggressively and basically keep her alive in situations prior where she'd been body blocked. So as long as she can keep the bubble up and keep it going, she's going to be in a far better position. But they need to stick together, otherwise blue team's going to pick them apart and do quite a lot. In fact, blue team's going to have to back off right there as red team's is starting to get back together and looking to push that bottom. It seems like the turret pushes a little bit in the favor of the red team at the moment, I'd say, but not a lot of pushing that's been really happening.
They definitely, and they're kind of just taking their sweet time, and they're kind of letting, I mentioned earlier in the draft, you know, what I thought the red team's win condition was staying ahead on the push. And, oh, that's going to have to wait a second. You see the anchor dive on Shiz. That time bubbles is just not going to be near enough. Very, very clean pickup coming up from Please Love. There's going to be a swap in and miss the anchor dive. Game is working, getting out extraordinarily low. Instead of being aggressive, leaving it in without shield and low HP. Still going to be fine. Decent poke. Love taking care of the bottom lane. Chappie, his clear there is uncontested, so he's a good defender. Again, they have to contest it in order to kind of make him back off, and that's when he becomes very much not so a good defender. Sub left in 1v2 on bottom lane. Love clearing out the top right quick. They're going to get together. Here comes a clear right here. Devon, how do you? What are your current thoughts on our situation? How's this match going?
There's one big upgrade I want to draw your attention to, and that's the continuity device on Yuri, which is CC immunity with bubble. So that situation where Yuri is in the bubble, pop the bubble, and then got hit by the anchor and got knocked down, not happening, just like there. The CC immunity is actually going to stop the anchor from doing anything and allow Shiz to get out of the situation. So right now you just see Yuri, Shiz picking up a lot of utility just to basically avoid all the kill potential that the blue team has. Otherwise, blue team is looking for opportunities. With those upgrades, they're having a harder time trying to secure kills against certain individuals. However, even though Yuri's a big target, maybe they should consider focusing down, say, Ksenia, trying to poke her down a bit because she's rather squishy and doesn't have the CC immunity or the basically bulk to back it up. They are going to try to do a little bit of body blocking. Sam is very low, going to be able to get back, hit those creeps, and lead the blue team, again, out of a kill. They're getting close now. They had a nice couple kills early on, but they're having a hard time right now.
Absolutely. It's kind of starting to get slightly staggered. Slow-mo shot, and Jappy just going to get melted there. Not getting off any damage. Well, now the blue team is actually getting a really solid push off here. Shiz having to back up a bit. Sam doing a little bit of split clear, but not even going to finish off the droids because he just knows he can't wait that long. Use the swap to get through the body block. Just X things. Well timed on his part. And now we're going to see a little bit of YOUDODAMATH. Game is broken, I think, is not even really foot's time, but kind of like deciding if he wants to almost. He has a going to fight the anchor, but Sam has retract ready, so not much going to come of it. That's also going to be a barrel and slow-mo shot. Jappy going stealth, wants to go in, not really seeing anything, just going to clear instead. You're going to see kind of reset, everyone just trying to catch up with the droids right quick, clean up and get in position so that they can take the next fight whenever it occurs. You do have a bit of a split situation. You got Sam versus Seb on the top lane. You got the remainder of the teams on the bottom lane. Time bubble coming up, not really accomplishing anything. Seb going in, use leap, nothing really much happening. Game is broken, gets a double anchor dive, slow-mo shot, not hitting anything, and now the blue team is going to be backing up on cooldowns while Shiz takes out the bottom lane, and the remainder of YOUDODAMATH tries to get the top lane continue to be contested. So it feels like both teams want map control. It's like, I feel like YOUDODAMATH is almost not the right word, because
it's kind of like they're, well, to put it ineloquently, it's like they're just ramming themselves at each other, constantly trying to fight for that mid. But given their sustain on both sides, it's not really accomplishing much at the moment. There's not enough commitment from either side to make a big impact. So then they don't want to risk it either, because if they do so, it's very easy to punish them in situations.
Absolutely.
Other than that, we have the blue team just kind of whip out Shiz to hold them back, so they're going to try to get aggressive on the X, get aggressive on the Ksenia, looking to get in there. Barely gets the kill with the anchor dive. Game is broken, gotta come back from behind Shiz. Shiz is looking really healthy, but with the anchor drop and everything else combined, that's going to be a double kill. Red team gets the tower, surprisingly, just because the droids have been pushing, but that's going to be equalized in just a second here, as the blue team's going to get incredibly aggressive and get punished for it. Biggins get hit by a scissor.
Okay, that was just kind of careless. Like, I mean, they're getting a turn off it anyways, and it's 2 kills, but I mean, like, the Ksenia should not be picking up frags on 1 HP when she's defending 1v3. That stuff like that to me is just kind of silly. You had Deadlift with shield, you had Max Focus to take that turret. He didn't really have any business being up there in front when he was as low as he was. That is going to give the red team the opportunity to actually take control here, and they're not going to get top lane off of it, but they're in a really healthy position now because of that pickup, and that's going to help them, do what they got to do here. And it's also worth noting, that's going to wait a second, see the damage coming out, not much going to happen. Seb might be, okay, he's going to leap out. I was about to say, maybe sticking around too long. We see a lot of health coming out on the blue team. We see the Pills of Regen being picked up on Swingins. We see Barrier Magazine being picked up on Deadlift. While the DPS continues to be built, we're seeing Sea Elimination damage. And I think that's Kraken if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Yeah, so Kraken and Sea Elimination damage coming out on Max. So it looks like, they're really kind of going for the classic. You get the 2 tanks standing in front of Max. Whenever they go in, Max has a free slow-mo shot and free just high, insane DPS. And that's one of the things that is really going to help out Love here. Help her keep the numbers on the board. Swap coming out, Time Bubble, and that's going to be a face mine. Oh, and the double kill, and they almost dies there.
Red team comes back from that, eh?
Yeah. So that was actually a really good team fight, making me kind of eat my words earlier. Oh, what exactly went down there, Devmon? What caused that to go so strongly? You do the math's favor, in your opinion.
So if you blinked, you missed the whole team fight. But if you didn't, you'd see that there was a Nick swap. You had the Yuri Bubble just get in there. He had the time slow on all 3 of them at the same time. He wasn't able to be held down by the CC, which is Anchor, and I mean, of course, just ace for the knockback there. And they basically spammed all the damage they could like a lawnmower as much as possible. Meanwhile, Blue kind of fiddled and they kind of backed off just a little bit, and they didn't have enough to really commit their damage in there. So they lost out on the opportunity to apply the damage, and because of that, Red just went in there basically pretty ham, as some people may say.
Yeah, absolutely, and that I guess kind of comes back to the synergy that Yuri and X have, that YOUDODAMATH has been so well known for so far in this tournament. It's just getting those swaps off, and just that crippling CC. It might as well just be a stun, because I mean, there's a fight. There's gonna be a swap. Sam getting out with a repack barely. Should be making it out. Same with Jappy. Shiz kind of trailing. She's not in any immediate danger anyways. They're gonna go clean up some droids. Yes. Rotation's down to the bottom lane, and now the entirety of the blue team on top lane, and
yeah,
and so, if they play this right, they're taking the team fight instead, which I don't know how that's gonna go, and that's gonna be Jappy down. I was gonna say this would be their opportunity to get the out rotation going and just keep blue team scrambling to keep the droids cleaned up. Instead, they took a team fight and they're really paying for it. Sam probably gonna go down here, and Shiz misses base mine, which is gonna be a missed kill. I am shocked. I thought that Shiz was actually suiciding for a second. I thought that was gonna be.
It kind of looks like it, but actually, it was a really good play there because of the heal bubble and the ability to basically sustain herself. She was able to body block them and keep Sam alive for a bit longer, and Sam was able to escape from that situation, saving a kill for the blue team. Maybe for later.
Absolutely, but she wasn't perfect there. She did miss that base mine, which directly resulted in a missed kill and possibly a snowball into a second kill. And now, as a result, blue team teleported anyways. I was gonna say they didn't get any map control that they could have potentially seized there. They have fragged, but blue team teleported, so red team has map control. This anchor dive not gonna matter too much. Still in their face. He has cooldown. I'm sure he'll be back in just a jiffy to try again. And their team fight is on the cusp here. I mean, they're both taking the jump pad. There's no way. There's the swap. There's the time bubble slow-mo shot. Leap out in shield and burn. So far, most abilities have been used on both sides. Numbers-wise, kind of went in favor of red team, honestly. They're getting some push off that. There's the Seam Illumination not hitting anyone, just clearing the droids. they get a little bit of chip off that bottom lane. You see a couple of blocks, you know, just getting taken off, and you see Shiz is now actually really starting to mine up that bottom lane, cutting that off. I don't know that this is probably kind of a nerd question, so to speak, but if she's putting her mines where she needs to be, she's not giving me a chance to ask this, because here's the time bubble.
There's too much action.
But she can't save Sam. He's gonna drop down, using that crazy, ridiculous Yuri drop down speed, and now both teams are gonna be you know, completely in a different part of the map, completely nullifying my question about the mines. So just what's in your mind, Deathmon, I guess.
I'll say that the mines, in terms of the face mines, I mean, unfortunately, she missed a couple like a couple of them in key situations. But otherwise, even just putting the mines down anywhere, that's enough pressure to kind of control the movements, which makes them more predictable and easier to capitalize on. Speaking of capitalizing on, the bubble's going to come out, but there's not been enough damage as blue team backs off. One upgrade I want to actually highlight that hasn't been picked up yet, and I'm kind of surprised, is Games Broken. The Swiggins hasn't picked up the Ancient Octant for the AoE on the anchor hook, just because they're team fighting so much that they probably want to actually do a lot of AoE damage.
I didn't actually pick up on that. Yeah, that's weird.
There's no AoE stun, but the AoE damage might be enough in certain situations, especially given how squishy that the red team is. The heal actually provides them a lot of bulk from the team fight, but if they had enough basically burst on one or multiple targets, they'd be doing a little bit better. In this situation, red team's got a lot of control, and those mines, again, they're kind of everywhere they don't need to be, if that makes any sense. Because they are there, they are basically providing presence and forcing the blue team to play a specific way, which makes it very, very easy for the Ksenia to do some work. Swapping out with Sam, Sam's going to swap Seb. Seb's going to be able to pop the shield, be fine. Shiz is looking a little bit low, and the Anchor's going to latch onto Sam for a bit. Sam's looking a little bit low, going up to the top, and is actually going to back off on the bottom left and get away safely.
That was a kind of interesting play there. Sam had me worried for a second, but he managed to kind of he jumped into the actual ceiling of the top lane rather than going towards it. Love thought he was going to the top lane, so he was able to juke that way and kind of walk out for free, and he didn't have to take a scene elimination or anything, which was spell this dude. So he lives due to that. And now we're just going to see a little bit more footsie knots coming up. The AoE is just really shocking to me, because now we actually even see auto-type damage. There's going to be initiation going on to Sam, who, to be fair, just from almost Swiggins exclusively, is now like a bar, has to get out. The thing is like, you know, I'm not one of those guys who says AoE is absolutely mandatory. I think you should eventually get it every game, but a bunch of people are like, buy it first upgrade, no matter what, and I don't agree with that personally.
I think it depends on the situation, and
yeah.
like you said, as a quote-unquote Swiggins main, I'll say that it's a very strong upgrade, but having the raw damage can be more beneficial in comps where you want to just nuke one person down as fast as possible when you want to rush down damage, and the cooldown is so good for canceling certain things with the stun.
Okay, chat, just get your telephone memes out of your system now. I know y'all want to. It's cool. It's kind of funny.
Oh, the massive AoE. That's a triple kill and a white pipe.
Yeah.
Right?
So what happened there? They literally that is exactly what I was talking about in the pregame. Red team just literally nailed their combo perfectly. Like they swapped into a slow motion, into a time bubble, and just started nailing on them, doing all their damage. It meant nothing. Shield nullified half of that damage, and the blue team just clicked all of their abilities. They didn't try and combo it or anything. They're just like, okay, use your abilities in this, all in the same area, because that's where they all are now, and just triple killed them in like half a second, dude. Like, what, you know, the only thing that red team could have done differently is just not take that fight to begin with. It was actually a situation, like, that is literally textbook what I'm talking about. Like, they could have just, the blue team was literally pinned right there to the blue turret on the bottom. They could have been mining everything up, cutting off rotations, forcing them to take the back way. Here's going to be another fight here, and that's going to be in favor. Sam again going to be knocking out Shiz. And that is going to be another 1-for-0. Not what they need right now. They're starting to snowball because they literally just got a triple kill. And as soon as the respawn happened, they picked up another 1-for-0. Easy top turret here. I'm surprised it didn't go down previously. There's a team fight going on here. Please Love actually going behind the turret, taking the frag. Shiz and Sam run away low. They are not in a good spot. They are being forced to do a 3v2. Seb leaping towards the creep. Kind of questionable.
Blue team's backing off, red team's backing off as well.
Yeah.
I'd say that the reason why they didn't take that top turret earlier, just even though it is so easy, is they basically rushed that bottom.
Oh yeah, they did. I'm dumb.
Yeah, it's down. they have base exposure, which is not the most significant advantage given the fact that their team is not super fast and Swiggins hasn't gone for the super speed Krill Biscuit boots build, but it's still something nonetheless, and it allows them to apply a lot more pressure since that's usually harder to attack tower. Otherwise,
well,
I'd say
it's really, really, really hard for them to kill Swiggins now. They are almost all single target damage against a deadlift shield already, and a slow-mo shot that's decreasing their DPS. And then they have to deal with Barrier Magazine, the statue, and now Sam. I mean, he's landing a bunch of auto attacks, and blue team is basically full. Love taking some damage there, but you know she's literally got deadlift on one side, Swiggins on the other. They can't finish her. Like, what can they do? They go for Love right now. Swiggins is literally in the position that if Cassini like rolled into Love and started doing a combo, Love might die about 100% without doubt. He gets anchor dived and killed, and right now, any 1-for-1 is by far favors the blue team. Like, red team,
I would agree.
If red team wants a chance at winning this, they can't die at all for like the next 10 minutes, and I'm just being realistic, I don't see that happening.
It's hard to, especially since the droids are kind of a big factor. So if blue team's clear, they've been able to clear incredibly well and incredibly easily, so they've been able to keep up the pressure for the droids. So like you said, if red team dies once or twice, it's going to make a big impact, and they're going to be in the base, and they don't have any turrets to back up on. Speaking of death, the red team is playing a little bit dangerously because they're split up, and Shiz is going to get done. There's the AoE, there's the double kill, and Sam's going to have to back off away, but it's not going to make a difference because blue team, given their full HP and the fact that they capitalize on easy kills, is going to push the base, and this might be game as it is because the respawn timers are looking a little bit grim for red.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good game. I mean, there's nothing else to even say. I mean, X isn't going to defend this. They just won. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting to me. Yeah, there's the base right there. It's kind of interesting to me. I said at the beginning, I thought that red team won this by pushing and clearing, not team fighting. And like, there was a point where they literally were down like 3 or 4 kills, but were ahead and pushed. Were ahead in droids. I think they were even ahead of droids even at the end there.
Yeah, actually.
But just they kept taking these team fights. I mean, they gave Deadlift a free triple kill. Like, I mean,
they did.
I'm not trying to downplay the triple kill that he got, but that was blue team literally being like, okay, well, there's a fight happening, and all 3 members of the red team were all clustered at one spot, and so the blue team literally just right-clicked on there. Just do the right clicks, and they're like, okay, well, we wiped. You know, there wasn't any, hey, I think, like, for red team to get a frag, I predict he's going to rotate this way, so I'm going to cut him off from his team. Or if I perfectly time this, he's taking the jump pads, so let me throw my thing where they're going to land at. Like, they have to think that way, where blue team is literally just walk in,
just
pick
slam
up
the
frag.
buttons and do the damage, eh?
Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, they didn't miss any abilities, which, you know, it's all thing. People don't realize how many kills get missed just because of bad aim. And they remain mechanically good and consistent, and so, you know, they won the fights.
Yeah, more or less. Other than that,
do you have any insights here, or anything I'm missing here, or anything you want to point out?
I think you covered most of it. Other than that, I think that it was good for red team to be together, but there are a lot of situations where they were split, and that last fight, the one that caused them to lose, when they jumped to the fire, and then Shiz was basically picked on by herself and was taken down. That's a situation where you need to be together, but you need to be spaced enough where the AoE is not going to affect everyone at the same time. So, hey, say you're having like Ix on the front, having Yuri in the middle, and Ksenia maybe attack from behind more often, because as nice as it is to do the damage in the front, and as nice as the scissors do damage to tanks, I think if positioning-wise, Ksenia had been behind in a lot of those team fights when the map opened up, maybe a bit more of an opportunity to basically pick on basically Love, who was playing the max at the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, anyways, with that said, we're going to take a short break. We're going to be back in just a moment with Game 2 of You Do the Math versus Please Love. So, my friends, do not And hey guys, welcome back to round 2 of YOUDODAMATH versus Please Love. After a match that kind of snowballed into a triple kill that literally kind of sealed YOUDODAMATH's fate, we're now back in match 2. YOUDODAMATH has to win this match, or they're literally just out of the tournament, plain and simple. And it's kind of interesting to me, in my opinion, because the loser of a previous match gets to pick, you know, what team number they are next. They pick Team 2, which is okay. And then I'm joined by the wonderful Devmon. Devmon, what do you feel about the draft that we are looking at right now?
Oh, okay. Let's start off with the bands because and the map as well. So we're on Ribbit 4, which is a map that's got that chimney. You've got a lot of knots banned. I'm gonna say this right now. You've only got 2 bans per team. There are 2 main important knots to ban, but I don't think those were the right bans. So you banned out Max. You've got X banned. I don't think that was an exceptional ban. They they had better things to ban. I mean, you could ban the area control knots or TED, something that has a lot of presence. Instead, they banned those. On the other side, they banned Swiggins and Deadlift. I mean, makes sense because they did really well. Ooh, but they've got Rocket. I see a Rocket, and and Rocket is very, very strong. I can say that for certain.
It's Sentry, Rocket, Dizzy, and like the most CC the blue team even has is like Time Bubble, and Blaze and
Knockback ball,
yeah, and like the weird niche stuff that isn't really a hard CC that's on Chucho.
Yeah,
so
I mean the small slow and like the knockback. That's not gonna keep those guys away from basically stomping on their face if they want to.
I would say that. You know, we're supposed to be talking about the draft. Like, how do you even analyze this? Red team's draft is 300 times better than the blue team draft. I'm just gonna put it bluntly. Like,
so why don't we just cover the weaknesses of the red team then?
Okay.
And analyze what can be done. What would be suitable knots, or what would be the idea to basically counteract what they have?
Catching
right
Dizzy
now,
by yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Dizzy might sometimes feel impatient, and they might be able to find that. You know, they can try and cut off the lane rotations with mines. You know, that's kind of it. You know, Chucho does do a lot of damage. Chucho has 4 damage upgrades that can kind of be difficult to land, but if everything's done right, like if in one go, Chucho can go in on someone and land one-armed chameleon, and the knockback, and the DOT, and the sticky bomb. I mean, that's a huge nuke. I think it's actually really underestimated in the current meta. Like, that's a crap load of damage, well over 1,200. But with that said, it's just not going to be enough here. I mean, Yuri, I see what they're going for, and Yuri is sort of a counter to Sentry because you time bubble outside of the black hole, but Yuri's going to be sitting there. He's going to be taking like 50% of his HP every 5 seconds from Rocket. Like, I know we saw Rocket leak earlier versus Please Love, but there weren't any Rocket counters on this comp. They can't really do anything at all to him. This is the sort of stuff that Rocket Sentry loves for. They barely have any escapes out of black hole, and no matter what, they can't really do anything about if Lover, Dizzy, or Sentry, or any of them decide to just go in their face and, you know, be a bully. They, you know, they can, you know, fight back and deal damage back, but there's no, okay, we're now putting this guy in a shitty situation because of his decision making. There's really none of that on the blue team. So I mean, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I hope you know, we can see blue team potentially, you know, play way better, but I've got to just give it to the red team here. Not trying to sound biased or anything. I'd love to see this go to tiebreaker.
Yeah, but in this situation, the way they've drafted, I would agree with you that the red team's in a severe advantage and blue team has an interesting comp, but I don't think it's the comp to fight them. I'm really surprised because Rocket was the first pick in this situation, so it's been like, okay, if Rocket's going to be a first pick, you want any knot that has a strong CC, actually specifically stuns or silences. You want something with strong stun or silences to basically disable his ability to run away and then try to burst him down. So knots like, say, Vinny and Spike, Sentry if they had Sentry themselves, and could lock Sentry, or basically even Ksenia just to kind of pick off the Rocket with the silences.
Ksenia would have been
they didn't
great
do that.
here. In fact,
Oh,
YOUDODAMATH has great Ksenia players like Sam, Jappy, and Shiz. I've seen all of them play Ksenia, and they are
oh
sick
yeah.
at that knot. Ksenia would literally one-shot Rocket or Dizzy before the silence even wears off here, while being able to bully the Sentry a lot and being able to get a Black Hole for free late game if they got duration rolled with BCAM and all
Yeah.
that. But that's not here or there. Ksenia is not in the game, so
No,
why
so
don't
they're
we
gonna have
see
to
if they
suffer
can
that.
prove us wrong and get into the match if you don't have anything else to add, my friend.
Sure, I'll just say I hope that Yuri takes advantage of Black Hole Sun being slowed down by the time bubble and will do against Rocket, because that's no easy fight.
Indeed. Alright, so I am at the 38-second mark. Go ahead and give us a countdown, my friend.
Sure, so 3, 2, 1, and go.
Bada bing, bada boom. Oh.
So in this case, we have what, Yuri on the same team that was the last team, but size of swap more or less?
I mean, pretty much. You're going to see immediately, actually, Sam going in and dropping down. That's one of the things I do love about Yuri. Even it's good. It's so annoying to play against, and even the times where it does make a difference, it's so fun where you just drop down ridiculously fast in half a second. Do it on Starstorm and just loot while placing mines everywhere, and it's actually not much you can do about it. Well, Starstorm not in this map for that reason, or in this tournament for that reason, and a bunch of others. But anyways, we see everyone kind of whiffing abilities, not really doing too much. This is kind of like the phase of the game. Actually, she is taking the Black Hole there. The big rocket's going to not be fired until way later. This is the phase of the game I kind of feel like where everyone's just kind of like poking each other, you know, trying to see how each other reacts when someone tries something. Like, game is broken. I mean, he does that. He's way overextended, doesn't really have a play there. I think he's just kind of trying to put his big toe in the waters and see how he gets punished when he goes in like that. And that's kind of what both teams are doing. And actually, a lot of damage coming out onto the red team. Blue team should be taking map control here, in my opinion. I understand there's a Black Hole. I feel like they can play around it. Oh no, there's the double Black Hole, and he gets the telephrag in, and that's gonna be a lot of damage. The time bubble barely saving them. I saw that he was winning the bottom bush, and they were gonna drop down, and he was hit. He literally moved from the top bush to the bottom bush because I think he saw the play in advance. How do you think the first blood's gonna go down?
It's going to go down soon. I think blue team might be picked off again in a situation where red team's a little bit more damage. If the Dizzy applies, say, like a burst on top of the Black Hole Sun, they might be able to AoE them down a bit harder and secure that first kill. Upgrades I wanted to point out right away is, well, you see Rocket has picky banked into the cigars, which are particles on his little laser trap, which seems like an interesting combo. Black Hole's going to actually get finished off. Shiz given all the AoE damage, and Shiz is going to be first blooded. You have a little bit of aggression from the Dizzy trying to get a lot of work done, but not going to result in much, and Love's going to take a sticky bomb right to the face. A box of scars which stacks really well with Black Hole Sun, so that's a ton of AoE damage that can come out from that combo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, you go in, and I don't even know what the DPS numbers is, but I know that's a good upgrade. I know things die when they stand in too long, and you kind of have no choice but to stand in it if you go in the Black Hole. One upgrade that, I'm going to be honest, I doubt we will see, but I think is actually extraordinarily underrated on Rocket's kit, is the rotation speed. People traditionally seem to go damage, Sakars, and slow with maybe one of those swapped out for instant deploy. Rotation speed actually adds in a lot of DPS when you position it right, and with Black Hole here, it would actually be so simple to do that. It almost effectively just kind of like double the damage that the rotation is doing. We see a Sticky Bomb coming out on the Dizzy. The Lightning Ball not going to quite connect. We do see something that I think is really interesting on Coco on Rivet Forward is the range upgrade. Range actually allows Shiz to hit balls from opposite lane. You can frag someone that's on the top lane from bottom lane and vice versa.
Ooh, so close and Sam there as that bomb almost hit him through the tower and finished him off there.
That was very, very painful there. They need to be watching out for stuff like that, and they're going to get a push off the top lane here. Black Hole bomb, not quite connected, and there's a time bubble. I feel like the red team has such a strong grasp on mid, because like even here, blue team's trying to take it, they're putting mines, and they got Shiz clearing bottom, and now they're just going to walk it, and it looks like the blue team has no choice but to back out. Steph just literally takes the mines, and he's barely dented, has a full Black Hole. Gonna whiff, Jappy getting out of it. Game is broken, literally going into the turret and dashing two of them, getting basically not punished at all. Solar Boss coming out from Jappy. Chicho is a particularly underrated Solar Boss killer, even in the early game can really show some aggression there. Shiz's build, we see range into slow blaze, and that's a triple black hole, but the red team was incredibly low, so they couldn't follow up on that. I mean, they were literally teleporting when that happened.
Some things I'd like to point out right now, I mean, besides the fact you've got Walkbot Pro and you've got Bandage for Dizzy making her very, very aggressive and dashing using abilities constantly, is the fact that the slow is going to be incredibly good to stack with the Yuri Bubble, and the flash forward basically making their team a DPS brawling team in a pinch. Chucho is going to be very interesting because he's got the DOT right on his thrusters, most likely because DOT is a safer option than, say, ramming. It's going to be more useful, and it also helps prevent teleports, which is kind of where you've got Sentry going in this situation. Other than that, I'd be surprised. Oh, no, he's already picked it up. Slow on the trap, and that's going to be quite a helpful hand later on, especially when they try to escape the Black Hole Sun.
Absolutely, just extra CC, and Game is Broken gonna run into 3 mines and die. Great play by Sam, really thought that one out. And so now they're gonna take up that frag and hopefully push up the lanes. When is that Yuri guy coming out though? And then there's gonna be a teleport coming out. Shiz needs to be careful. Why is no one getting Black Hole here? I'm really surprised that none of those guys got fragged because they just kind of like sat on a sentry that had a Black Hole. I kind of almost feel like the sentry didn't fight the Black Hole because he wasn't expecting. He's like, oh wait, this guy's still on me. Oh wait, okay, I guess I'll fire my Black Hole. If you really want me to, I will. Like, red team has so much map control here. Like Black Holes at the turrets constantly. You can't go like anytime they need to take mid. They literally just sentry charges it, tanks it, they toss a laser trap, whatever inside. That basically makes the blue team just run, and then they get them zoned in. You have Dizzy constantly raiding the jungles, staying way ahead on the clear, constantly just trying to get a dash poke in. I mean, look at the rotation here. Game is Broken, literally watching the rotation, keeping Shiz in the bottom lane, which forces Sam to solo it up in, who's not doing a bad job at all. And Shiz literally jumping into a rocket. I was like, okay, she's fine.
Sausage.
I was literally about to call out, like, okay, she's getting out because, you know, she's getting dashed to death in front of her own turret. But then she jumps into a rocket, so, yeah. See, that's why Rocket's OP. Okay, that was too brutal.
Maybe a little bit brutal. He's a very safe knot at the moment until the beta changes hit, and then, he's not going to be as strong. Anyways, red team, like you said, has very good area control. One of the factors is the fact that, well, Sentry with Teleburst in combination with Black Hole Sun just provides so much area denial. And traps, even though they're not active area denial in most situations, the potential area denial, the fact that basically you get Rocket out of every situation by having the knockback on himself, really hard to capitalize on him. And I think Lucian's feeling that, and unfortunately has to deal with that at the moment. I'm surprised I'm not seeing more sticky bombs being just tossed everywhere, I guess. Just to really poke them down a bit more. I know that the red team can take advantage of them because, I mean, Sentry charging up his Black Hole Sun with the blackmail sticky bombs is quite helpful, but not really going to help him too much. Shiz is actually going to be able to get out there just barely. Game is Broken is going to take a sticky bomb into the Rocket actually dies. Dies to a laser, and this is actually going to be sent back to the graveyard. Meanwhile, Seb is going to be able to defend bottom quite easily using the Teleburst as a way to clear droids, and Game is Broken is going to effectively take out the Solar Bus as much as possible. Black Hole is going to come out, not too much, but it was starting to decay anyway, so may as well take advantage of the situation and make the most of something before it goes away.
Absolutely, and they're trying to get a little bit of push. I mean, you know, they want to, as you said, get that push off the kill, but I mean, turns out the red team are so healthy because they're so far ahead of the game because they take mid whenever they want. Sam really going in hard. Jabi managing to land a bunch of that Chucho damage there.
Seb.
Wait, what? Seb?
Oh, Seb. Oh, poor Seb. You see him just dancing in the jungle area. Oh, but is he going to get killed? No.
Oh my God, Sam's just saved Shiz's life there. That would have been.
Yeah.
I would have been legit tilted if that kill had happened. So they were like. I feel like they honestly could have just finished off Seb before the black hole happened, but they chose to let it weigh, which could have gone really, really bad for them. Yeah, I get being cautious, but that could have shifted the paradigm enough if Game is Broken and Valve decided that they wanted to try and clean that up, because you don't want to wait in a corner like that too long. Then you just get into the same position that Seb was in, and you know, if they're all on cooldown. Love and Game is Broken go in and just start beating them up. They have to take the damage in order to get out. So either way, it didn't happen.
That lane ball.
Yeah, that looked like it hit on my screen, but
It did.
rocket hitbox, lol.
Yeah. Well, either or. Again, talking like he said before earlier, that range upgrade from lane to lane, something I guess that shouldn't be underestimated. It'd be nice to see that stacked with a little bit of cooldown. It has the damage right now, so it's actually a pretty big threat. But with cooldown would be a absolute, I think, area control.
Absolutely. And that area control is, kind of the name of the game right now. Because, kind of, again, like, the mines are... I mean, he caught off Game is Broken that one particularly comedic time. In general, he's doing a good job putting in the top lane, but, I mean, Seb has just zero issues. It's not like he's going, oh, I can't walk in with charging my black hole because there's mines there, like, getting black holes off of it, and then blue team automatically has to run. So it's kind of just not so good for him. Game is Broken. I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but no, he's dead. He's just kind of running around there taking damage.
He's looking for some creeps, I think, to survive the super bomb in that situation, but couldn't find them. Found the blue team instead, which unfortunately left to the death. And a lightning ball comes out from behind as Seb is unable to get to the turret and actually gets finished off by Shiz. Blue team is actually looking like they're in a strong position at the moment for once in this match, actually.
Okay, so Jeppy could have easily killed Love there, so Shiz got a lightning ball but took a lot of damage for it. Jeppy was like going back and forth on the top lane there, and if he had dived in with Shiz, I mean, he should have been pushing bottom if not with her anyways, but that could have been a wipe, and that would have gotten the snowball going. It's actually so kind of unfortunate out of spot. They are kind of contesting mid, but I mean, Sam tries to place the mine, but even placing the mine is risky, and then Love just spins half a second putting a laser trap in, and they have to scram. Game is Broken gonna take a moment to do the solar boss. Red team sitting on the bottom, lightning bolt trying to find its way in, not gonna hit. Black hole is baited. They got the mind control here. Game is Broken barely getting out. Dizzy tends to have around 8 or 9 dashes at any given moment, just so she can make.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay,
but,
well,
you can't dash through the mines like Frog can, though.
Oh man. Okay. I'm really hoping that Game is Broken doesn't die this way anymore. I mean, you're versus Yuri. Stop taking a jump pad when they have top. Like, dude, it's like 2 mines is literally 99% of his health. Yeah, like honestly, stop dying that way, man.
Well, this is giving blue team mid control, I'd say right now, is actually doing quite well for them. If they can keep the mines going, keep the pressure up, they can do quite well. But Game is Broken is coming back in immediately. Not a very happy, angry, rapping Frog, and looking to get some aggression there. You got a couple dashes, but no explode. We have Black Hole Sun with the teleburst on bottom. It does a bit of damage to Shiz. Shiz is going to be fine to be able to back out. Meanwhile, Sam playing Yuri is going to have to back off because he's taking a bit of damage from the mid. Blue team's lost their mid control that fast just because the Game is Broken has basically come back in and has been able to apply all that pressure. It seems that Red Team really wants that bottom turret on the blue side before they really make a push into the top there, which is completely fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, like, I mean, okay, when you're at the point where Dizzy is literally taking a mine, so the droids will walk up and you're that out-rotated that you can't really do anything, like... But, I mean, I just want to point out that we actually just saw Dizzy walking ahead and taking a mine, so the droids didn't get hit, and blue team just not being able to punish that because they are having to make 30-second lane rotations.
It's such a shame for them because normally people walking to mines are easy prey, and especially somebody who's as squishy as Dizzy. I'm almost surprised we don't see like Butterfly Yo-Yo and just like purposely dashing into the mines and taking half the damage of the mines for that situation. Or you know what, they could have just let Sentry take the mine damage. Black Hole Sun is going to do a bit of damage to Sam. Blue team's looking good as they want mid control. Looks like Game's Broken's going to try to attack from the top, but it's looking like they're having a hard time finding the entrance there. Love is going to farm droids on bottom, meanwhile blue team's sticking together pretty well. Love taking that mine to the face and looking like a half-health chef.
It's actually, I didn't even think about it till now, actually. Blue team is ahead of kills. I've thought of this entire match of them being behind, and push, they are by far. Their bottom turret is significantly weaker than Please Love's bottom turret, and they don't have a top turret, period. But they are 3 kills ahead. The level advantage just evened out now, but they did had a full level, which Is Games Broken gonna dive in the DOT? He is not, so maybe if they had done that fight, 30 seconds ago when they had the level advantage, he would have. Rip, can't really control that, I guess. You got, blue team trying to fight their Pokken, and just kind of, random Chucho, but marginally poking that turret, and then he has to get out, and Game is Broken, just, way ahead of everyone else. Game is Broken is playing the lane rotation the way I wished YOUDODAMATH had played the lane rotation last week. He's not, sitting on the pushing on edge trying to find a frag or anything. He's just making sure that everything is cleared constantly, and so that blue team can't get a breather to just, relax and do what they gotta do.
No kidding. You know what? Oh, blue team's gonna grab the solar boss on their side again. You've got very good use of Chucho's solar boss killing capabilities. Unfortunately, he's gonna get taken out because that black hole sun plus all the little damage he took is going to result in him dying, meaning the red team's actually going to be able to push bottom pretty effectively if they get together and have a good time. Sorry, and like you're saying, lane rotation is such a huge skill, especially in maps like Aguillon and also like Ribbit. You have the opportunity to push the towers as much as possible just by dealing this constant little chip, and droids don't do a lot on their own, but if you give them the opportunity, they can just do a little bit, and a little bit all the time means that you're doing quite a lot over a period of time. Other than that, I kind of wanted to ask you, in this situation, Rocket's an incredibly good knot, but what do you think about Rocket's build and how he's kind of been playing into it right now?
Well, it's not like the Rocket meta has been extraordinarily explored, so I'm sure there's some things, some quirks about his upgrades and the synergies that people haven't really dawned on yet. But taking a look at it, you see the basic stuff, you see fourth charge, which is essentially like I think that would technically be a 20% damage increase. I'm pretty sure that's one of those. And I'm talking.
Oh, double kill.
She's building great.
Is it
literally just sits there
the
spamming rockets?
No way.
Chucho is more than fine. He's not gonna die here, and I don't think Chappie's the type that's gonna accidentally die on defense. Anyways, yeah, I think that's one of those intuitive things where you would think it'd be 33% more, but I don't know. I'm too lazy to do math. Not particularly good at it. Anyways, so talking about more interesting things than random percentages, you do see, all those damage numbers. You see the laser trap and things like that coming out. You see a piggy bank. When I do play Rocket, don't judge me. That's kind of what I go for too. I find not piggying to be extraordinarily unnecessary. Kind of building into Rocket's health anyways, I would 100% probably pick up Boots or BKM, because that's what Rocket will die here for, is, being caught out and, getting, CC'd, when you're squishy as Rocket is, and and she's dead, and your survival condition is kind of staying back, rocketing out and whatnot, going from 1200 HP to 1300 HP isn't a big deal. So I'm gonna get taken out by Jappy there, actually doing some good tracking. And while I'm just talking about kills, this whole team fight happens. Honestly, some good tracking. The first really significant push for the blue team all game. He's freaking doing what he can. Gonna get some dashes, gonna pick up the creeps, but there goes that please. Oh my god!
So close on Sam there, eh? And then Yappy almost went down too. That heal bubble made, again, heal bubble's I think underrated in some situations because it does quite a lot of work. And the fact that the heal bubble's being combined with the cooldown upgrade right now, you've got heals going on constantly. And Flash Forward, not only is it really good at doing what it does, but because doesn't actually reduce the duration of the bubble itself, it's like an additional cooldown upgrade. So this is like the max cooldown you get for Yuri's bubble.
It's also
kind of nice.
It's also kind of worth pointing out also that the regeneration pod, because the time bubble that slowed down the time it took for the Dizzy Bomb to go off, actually gave Sam the chance to get those extra regen pod ticks he needed before the bomb went off. Because, say if it went off half a second earlier into that pod, then he would have died. So kind of interesting to me. Anyways, Sam gonna take a DOT. Literally, he might as well be full health. He was charged a black hole during that, anyways, and he's gonna just burn and get back the next real charge. He wants to get fed a real damage there. You see, what is this Coco upgrade and we see being picked up here? Slow,
you mean
the
slow?
wetsuit.
Slow
Yeah,
attack?
yeah, slow being picked up here, which is very interesting. Kind of going back to what we were talking about, blue team. I kind of get they're picking up any CC they potentially can. And even they're actually kind of locking down. Game is working, not that bad there. He is going to get down. They didn't land any of the real cooldowns there, but I know a lot of people. I'm pretty neutral on it. I think it's a fine upgrade, but I think a lot of people think Wetsuit the slow AA on Coco is a bad upgrade for whatever reason. Even if it was kind of like almost objectively bad, I would probably still get it here anyways. Sam's gonna time bubble down through the shaft. Yeah, there's that ridiculous Yuri shaft. That thing is just completely annoying to have to play against sometimes. But anyways, blue team should pick up like every CC upgrade just about that's available to them. The only one that they shouldn't, which they didn't, is the time bubble slow, which still would have been a good upgrade for them. But like, no, you know, they need the CC that they get. I hope that we do see slow AA coming out from Yuri very soon. That would actually be very annoying for the red team to play against. Game is broken.
Game is broken is just coming from behind and just kind of doing a lot of the proxy farming, trying to get behind and use the dashes effectively. And that walkbot pros basically means that it has a dizzy dash at every second that you can see. I mean, it really helps with the droid clear there, and the soybot's going to be taken down. And other than that, I would say, yeah, it seems a little strange that there's not really a Yuri auto attack slows right now, because given the fact that it's hit scan, you basically pop it whenever you want. It's kind of nice. I will say that I think most people think that slow hands on Coco is a little bit redundant, just because you've got slow and blaze, so you can slow point ability. So why still if your auto attack and just invest into the DPS? And the reason I would say is just because you don't have blaze all the time, and there's some characters that you want to slow down constantly. So be able to basically hold Dizzy down more consistently means that the slow will minimize her dashes and make her a lot easier to kill in more situations. So
Sam! Silence. That might be game, because they do have base exposure. Love actually end up back up, and she should be able to find the help that she needs. Blue team is in a really bad spot here, right here. Their skills are tied, they're a level behind. Clearly, of course, by far out pushed. If they lose this match, they are out of the tournament. Like, they're done. Like,
yeah.
Like, whoever wins the series, you know, takes the tournament, and they got to do something here. They got to make a play happen, because that late game is starting to kick in. Like, Love's damage is just going to keep on scaling absurd amounts, especially on the times that I played Rocket. I think what everyone always sees is the flare, the range on Rocket, and just the regular Rocket, big Rocket damage. One upgrade that I found really good to use in place of range is the okay, there's that damage combo landing on the Rocket, and that's actually going to be taking him out. Black Hole's going to be a weapon, so it's not going to be a 1-for-1 either. He jumps left, and so Seb doesn't predict that, and hopefully is what they needed to see if they can do, and they really need to make something happen. Game is broken, horribly overextended. If they're going to kill him, then kill him. I hope they don't waste their push time. He's getting distracted, and that's exactly what's going to happen if we flip over to Dizzy here. He's kind of forcing their hand. The sticky bomb miss is going to be pretty significant. A little teleport time coming out, and game is broken, going back in. I never want to hear anyone say this guy's passive again. That's all I'm saying right now.
That's really impressive.
Oh my god.
Almost on there too. Barely alive, and that distraction was huge, because not only did you like 2 ticks core damage, it also kept them from basically pushing the top tire from too hard, so they've been able to sustain themselves.
Well, they did get the top turret off of that, but still. There was that was half Dizzy having a million dashes, and that was also half blue team missing abilities, if I'm being perfectly blunt.
Yeah, it happens though.
You can't miss the point blank sticky bomb and then go, oh man, Dizzy's so hard to catch. But anyways, really well played on Game is Broken there. He's going to do the same thing again, literally 1v3. Right there, he's literally dead if Sam had slow laser. Like, it's not even a question. That was a kill if Sam had slow laser, but not getting every CC that they should. They don't have an answer to that. And okay, Shiz gets caught teleporting. That's frag probably game.
Geez.
Okay, so time bubbling into them without really doing anything. He's gonna back up. Yeah, Sam places those mines there. I'm sure he's about to jump into it, and they're just gonna go take base from me and my guy. Sam gonna go into the time bubble. Gonna deal some damage to Love. Love back rockets. They literally can't finish her. Yeah, like they literally can't do a thing. That's probably game. And now, yep. That's gonna be a wipe right in front of the base. Love being a rocket all game. Let's take a look at these damage numbers right quick before we show the kill cam reel. Okay.
I can just tag them right now if you like.
Yeah. So you go for it.
Okay, in terms of the most damage dealt, Dizzy, that was kind of obvious. 230,000. Not 23, 230,000 damage. Wow. Compared to the next highest, I mean, Yuri had 160,000. Fairly significant, but Dizzy going in there doing the poke constantly and just doing tons of damage. I think that's some really good Dizzy play. I mean, I was worried about the Rocket kind of like stomping the game and Rocket doing what he does, but Dizzy, oh man, just being able to dash in and out of combat constantly and just apply the pressure as much as possible. And really just kind of being the MVP, holding back the entire enemy team by distracting them, like, oh, your core's open. I'm going to dance around it for a bit. Oh, don't mind me. Etc., etc.
Yeah, and just those rocket numbers are just ridiculously difficult to mitigate. Like, he just does so much with so little commitment. And between that and the fact that this is larger by far Century's best map, and just their area denial kind of outpaced the area denial of, you know, sticky bombs and spike and mines. In theory, honestly, blue team does have a bunch of area denial, and that did pick up them up some frags. But especially with a certain player jumping into mines multiple times. You know, that they can't do anything about it. You know, they would walk into a bush and you know, they weren't aware of where Seb was on the map, and things like that too. The awareness that ended up letting them get picked up by, you know, quick black hole and telefrag, which, you know, they're having unnecessary deaths anyways when you're already just completely outcomped. It's just like, you know, it feels so bad because it's just like, want to make it work somehow, but you're just, you know, getting in your own way sometimes. They played well. If I'm being perfectly honest, if I was playing the same comps versus Please Love's comp there, I don't think I would have lasted nearly as long as they did. But overall, I just wish we had seen them draft differently. I do like to see people letting Rocket through and, you know, trying to work against it. But this was not this is not the answer to Rocket here. This was a free draft coming out from Please Love. It was, as much as I hate to say it.
They lack the strong CC that normally counters knots like that. When you can't really punish them for making mistakes, when you have high-level players that just go in and just rarely make mistakes, you need a strong CC to make them vulnerable, and they lack that in most situations, which is unfortunate, but that's just kind of how they want to play. Other than that, they'll say the builds are very interesting, kind of play towards what they want to do, and that there was really good coordination. It's hard to beat something like that.
Well, with that said, we're about to go to our 6th and final set of the day. This will be the match to determine who plays Game is Broken or Please Love in the loser semis in a couple weeks, which will be between Team Rocket and Full Monty. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back, my friends.